and creativity have long been tied together. People admire artists who turn suffering into something meaningful, as if hardship guarantees brilliance. The idea runs deep. Real art, some believe, must come from real wounds. That belief dates back centuries. The Greeks often portrayed suffering as a teacher. In Oedipus Rex, Sophocles shows how Oedipus gains knowledge through suffering. The Greeks called this learning through pain pathiamathos. Similarly, Aristotle argued in Poetics that tragedy allows audiences to purge emotions, or catharsis. Euripides' Medea, though, offers a different view. The suffering in that play doesn't lead to wisdom, but destruction, a reminder that pain doesn't always teach. Later Christian traditions linked suffering to spiritual enlightenment. This concept of imitatio Christi, imitating Christ's suffering, shaped how many viewed hardship. St. John of the Cross in Dark Night of the Soul described suffering as a means of reaching divine understanding, and these ideas left a lasting mark, reinforcing the belief that pain carries meaning. By the 19th century, the Romantics had transformed suffering into an artistic ideal. Poets like Byron, Shelley, and Keats wove sorrow into their work, treating melancholy as fuel for beauty. Byron, known for brooding heroes, described himself in Childe Harold's Pilgrimage as a wanderer outlawed from his own land. Shelley framed personal suffering as something almost sacred, writing an ode to the west wind. I fall upon the thorns of life, I bleed. In Ode on Melancholy, Keats went even further to link beauty and sorrow. Aye, in the very temple of delight, veiled melancholy has her sovereign shrine. While the Romantics didn't invent the idea that pain shapes creativity, they certainly made it glamorous. And that era changed how people saw artists. Writers and painters weren't simply craftsmen, they were tortured souls, channeling anguish into masterpieces. And this idea outlived the Romantic period, shaping modern assumptions about creativity. Many believe that an artist's most powerful work comes from their worst experiences. And on the surface, that sounds feasible, but the reality is more complicated. The connection between pain and creativity has fascinated a number of psychologists over the years. Maslow, for instance, argued that creativity emerges as part of self-actualization, or the need to express identity and find meaning. And some studies support the idea that adversity fuels artistic expression. Hussein and Bouchon found that trauma survivors often process experiences through creative work, but they didn't claim suffering increases talent. And Kaufman noted that writers and artists have higher rates of mood disorders than the general population. But correlation doesn't mean causation. Creativity and pain overlap, but that doesn't mean one produces the other. The problem comes when people romanticize that pain. The belief that suffering breeds genius has made some dismiss mental health struggles as artistic fuel instead of something that needs care. Sylvia Plath's legacy illustrates this issue. Plath's writing made pain feel physical. The Bell Jar follows Esther Greenwood's depression, a reflection of Plath's own struggles. Ariel contains some of her most striking poetry, and in Lady Lazarus she writes, "Dying is an art like everything else. I do it exceptionally well." Her words refused to soften suffering, making it impossible to ignore, and that raw honesty made her one of the most celebrated poets of the 20th century, but it also fed an obsession with her pain. Her suicide at 30 became part of her myth, turning her into a tragic figure, and some young writers have idolized her suffering rather than her craft, as if pain alone gave her work power. Critics like Van Dyne have pointed out that this focus risks reducing Plath to a symbol rather than recognizing her technical skill. Her use of enjambment, vivid imagery, and confessional style set her apart, not merely her personal anguish. Frida Kahlo has faced similar treatment. Her paintings, filled with surreal and often unsettling images, were deeply personal. After a bus accident left her with chronic pain, she used art to express what words couldn't. The broken column shows her body split open, nails piercing her skin, a crumbling pillar replacing her spine. And beyond painting physical suffering, she captured grief from miscarriages and heartbreak. Each brushstroke carried something real. And over time, Kahlo became larger than life. Her face appears on everything from tote bags to coffee mugs, often reduced to a symbol of resilience and suffering. And what gets lost is the real person, an artist who fought to be taken seriously, who built a self-image through her work, and who carefully controlled how people saw her. Her diaries and self-portraits weren't acts of passive suffering, they were deliberate expressions. Herrera in Frida, a biography of Frida Kahlo, notes that Kahlo had carefully curated her own image, ensuring that her pain did not overshadow her artistic legacy. People want to believe suffering leads to greatness, but that belief distorts reality. Some artists create from pain, but others don't. No rule says hardship improves work. If anything, the idea that pain produces genius has pressured some artists to lean into self-destruction as if suffering were necessary. Art will always carry traces of human experience, including struggle, but talent isn't measured in scars, and glorifying pain does more harm than good. Plath and Kahlo transformed experience into powerful work, but suffering didn't define their brilliance. Their craft did. Instead of romanticizing suffering, a better question is, how can people support artists while they're alive, not just mourn them when they're gone? If you enjoyed this video, you know the drill. Like, share, and subscribe. Your support means the world. And this one could be a good one to watch next.